Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Monday, September the 2nd. It is Labor Day today, so there is pretty big early slate. Like, the early slate is kind of the main slate for today. There's only like 2 games at night tonight, and the rest of the games are during the day. So the main slate for today starts at 1:05 on DraftKings. It includes the 8 games from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Yahoo's main slate is actually like the all-day slate, so they got all the games starting from 1 o'clock till 8:10 tonight when the Dodgers play the Rockies. So pretty much all-day slate for Yahoo. DraftKings having like an 8-game early. We're going to look at pitching, though, start off at pitching, work our way through the pitcher-player pool. Since the slates are kind of different, I'll be sure to touch on some guys that I like on Yahoo that maybe are not included on DraftKings. Because with those 4 additional games, we're definitely going to need to talk about some of the pitching in those 4 late games on Yahoo. But we'll do DraftKings first, start off with pitching. Like I said, work our way through the pitcher-player pool. I'll be sure to hit on all the options that I like for today. We'll talk about 3 specific hitters I really like, and then towards the end of the video, we will cover some stacks that I'll be going to. Before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Excited for football. This week does start like the official week of football week, I guess you could say. I will be uploading a lot of NFL videos this week. Definitely going to start off with like the video for Thursday Night Football showdown slate between the Packers and the Bears. That video will be going up this week. I'll start having more videos out for the main slate. Not sure yet if I'm going to do like position by position breakdowns and do like separate videos or just kind of make it all in one video. I'll figure that out as the week goes on, but we'll have a video out for the showdown slate for Thursday Night Football. So make sure you check that video out if you are planning to play. I know there's a lot of big tournaments out there for the showdown slate, so definitely would appreciate it if you would check that video out. But at the top of the pitcher-player pool, we have 2 options over 10K today. Jake Odorizzi facing the Tigers and Noah Syndergaard facing the Nationals. So on DraftKings, I don't feel like I need to pay these price tags for these guys. Like, Odorizzi is not an elite pitcher. He's okay in this matchup, I guess. At 10,500, you need him to score like 25, 30 DraftKings points to be a worthy play at this price. Sure, he could get that against the Tigers because of how bad their lineup is and how much they strike out. But this does feel like a slate where I want to pay up for bats. I like some of the expensive bats on this slate. And I don't feel like I'm going to be really going to Odorizzi on DraftKings. Now on Yahoo, I think he is very appealing. He's all the way down here at $38. He's cheaper than Cal Quantrill, who's not on the DraftKings slate but is on the Yahoo slate. He's cheaper than Mike Soroka. He's cheaper than Mike Minor. I actually like Odorizzi a ton on Yahoo at just $38. But on DraftKings, where he's the most expensive pitcher on the slate, I think I can definitely get away with not going to him. Same could be said for Noah Syndergaard. I don't think Syndergaard's an elite pitcher. It's not a great matchup against the Nationals. If I have to play one of those guys, it's definitely going to be Odorizzi just because I prefer his matchup. Don't really see myself getting much Syndergaard today at 10K. This does feel like a slate where I'm going to be going to these mid-range arms, going to be paying down a little bit, try and get those expensive bats. The first guy that I like is Kyle Hendricks. Now, Kyle Hendricks is not a pitcher that I usually play, but this is a really good spot for him facing the Mariners at home. This Mariners team does have a lot of strikeouts in its lineup. Hendricks is not a strikeout pitcher by any means. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and get a ton of Ks, but he can limit damage. He can go pretty deep into games. Like the game against the Giants where he went 7 innings with 3 hits allowed, 7 Ks, 32 DraftKings points. Like, Hendricks can easily do that here against this Mariners team. We could see him go 6, 7 innings, probably only allow a couple hits, maybe 1 run, probably get like 6 strikeouts, pick up a win, get you 25 DraftKings points. On 8,900, I like him a lot as a SP1 on this slate. Hendricks not usually a guy I play, but definitely going to be going to him here against the Mariners. Plus, the Mariners going to be in the National League, so they're going to lose their DH. They're going to have to put a pitcher in the lineup, which is pretty much a free strikeout. I like Hendricks quite a bit. Very interested to see what the Mariners total is for today. I imagine it's going to be pretty low, probably one of the lowest on the slate. But another guy I like quite a bit on DraftKings is Masahiro Tanaka. I think he is in a very good spot here, facing the Rangers at home. The Rangers are definitely a team I like to pick on, especially when they're outside of Globe Life Park. This is obviously a good hitter's park as well in Yankee Stadium. But still, it's a pretty bad Rangers lineup. It's a lineup that does have strikeouts in it. I do prefer to roster lefties against the Rangers because they strike out a lot more versus lefties. But still, Tanaka can get strikeouts. He's been much better lately. Had a really good start against the Mariners. He was really good against the Blue Jays. He was okay against Cleveland. He kind of struggled against Oakland. When Tanaka gets the right matchup, he can definitely come through for you, and I think this is a pretty good spot against the Rangers. I think Tanaka does give you some upside at this $8,100 price tag. You play Hendricks and Tanaka together, that still leaves you $4,125 remaining per player. I would much rather go to those two guys. Like if you play those two guys, you're spending $17K on pitcher, whereas if you go Odorizzi, you'd be to get to $17K per pitcher, you'd have to play Odorizzi and then like a $5,500 guy or a $6,500 guy. So would you rather play like Odorizzi and Joe Ross or Odorizzi and Wojciechowski or Hendricks and Tanaka? I think just choosing between that 2v2, I'd kind of prefer the Hendricks and Tanaka side because there really is no cheap option that I love that I can pair with Odorizzi. So that's not really why I'm going to be looking to pay up on DraftKings. But some of these other pitchers we could maybe consider on DraftKings. Adam Wainwright's in a pretty good matchup here facing the Giants at home. He's 7,600, which is kind of a hefty price tag for Wainwright. I would definitely prefer to get up to Tanaka for only 500 more. I think Tanaka gives you more upside. But if you want to play Wainwright, I think he makes some sense. There's really no value that I like. Maybe you could go to someone like Tyler Beede at 5,800, but that's not a play I feel great about. Don't really want to go to Jordan Zimmerman. Don't want to go to Sheffield. Don't want to play Drew Smiley in that hitter's park. So a lot of my builds today on DraftKings are going to include probably two mid-range pitchers and then kind of working in the bats that I can get in. Now going over to Yahoo, since they do have the all-day slate, they do have the 2 4 o'clock games between Houston, Milwaukee, and San Diego, Arizona, and they do have the 2 night games, Cleveland and Chicago, and the Rockies-Dodgers game as well, which adds more pitching to the player pool. You have Cole, you have Buehler in those night games, you have Aaron Savale facing the White Sox, who you can maybe consider. Wainwright, I did want to mention on Yahoo real quick, he is $31. I think Wainwright's a really good value, so he's someone you could consider. Maybe even like Mike Leake against the Padres in those afternoon games could be playable. But obviously it starts off with these top 2 guys, Cole and Buehler. Since Yahoo has the all-day slate, you get Cole and Buehler on the slate. Cole facing the Brewers, Buehler facing the Rockies. I really like Buehler here at $55. I like the $5 savings you get going down from Cole to him. It is a very good spot for Walker Buehler. This Rockies team versus right-handed pitching, especially when they are outside of Coors Field, is definitely a team you can attack. I know Buehler, he dominated the Rockies earlier this year when he faced them at home. 9 innings, complete game, 16 strikeouts, 56 fantasy points. It was his best start of the year. Then he faced the Rockies in Coors and just got absolutely blown up. But anytime you can face the Rockies outside of Coors, I think that's always something to consider. Obviously, Buehler's a great play here. He's a great pitcher. He's a really good strikeout pitcher. Plus, he's a little bit cheaper than Garrett Cole, which I like a lot. Cole kind of in a tough spot facing the Brewers in Miller Park. Don't really need to pay up for him on this slate. I think I would rather go to Buehler. Like, you can get Buehler and Odorizzi on Yahoo and still have $13 remaining per player, fit in some decent bats. So we'll start off with those bats. We'll start off at third base. One guy that I love today is Eugenio Suarez. He's pretty expensive, but I think he's worth the price tag today in this matchup. $24 on Yahoo, very expensive, but again, I think he's worth it here. So the Reds are going to get Drew Smiley in Great American Ballpark at home. Drew Smiley's just been terrible lately. 5.6 total for the Reds. Definitely want to target him here. He's been giving up a ton of home runs lately. Just in his last 5 starts, he's given up at least 1 home run in 5 straight starts. Gave up 2 home runs to Pittsburgh, 2 to Chicago, pitched in San Francisco and gave up 3 home runs to the Giants. Smiley's just really been struggling. Now he has to face a Reds team that does have some power versus lefties. It is a great ballpark for hitters. Guys like Suarez, Aquino, Nick Senzel, if Phillip Ervin's in the lineup, I think he's a really good play. Jose Iglesias is a cheap shortstop. If you get Peraza in the lineup, he could be a cheap value. The Reds are going to be a team you get value from, but they're also a team that I think has some really good spin-up bats. Obviously, those 2 spin-up bats you want are Suarez and Aquino. And I love Suarez here, just a guy that matches left-handed pitching. Now he's facing a left-handed pitcher that gives up a ton of home runs to righties. It is a great spot for Eugenio Suarez. One of my favorite plays on the slate. Also like Nick Senzel a lot. I imagine he's going to lead off here versus a lefty. He's $4,400 on DraftKings, and he's pretty cheap on Yahoo as well. He's at $14. He's definitely going to be someone I target from the Reds, especially if I'm stacking them, which I will be looking to do today. Just going through and looking at some of their hitters, you do have a lot of value here. Like you got Freddie Galvis, who will probably be in the lineup, is $4K. Jose Iglesias is a cheap shortstop at $3,700 if he's in the lineup. If you get Phillip Ervin in the lineup, he is only 3,600. And then you'll probably have either Kirk Casale or Tucker Barnhart at catcher, and they are both really cheap. So the Reds do give you some value, and I think it's just a great spot for them. I think they're going to be able to put up runs here against Drew Smyly. I love the righties, Suarez and Senzel, two guys I like a ton from the Reds side. And then another team I like and another guy I really like today is Eddie Rosario. He's pretty cheap on DraftKings given the matchup with Jordan Zimmerman. He's only 4,600. It is a really good spot here for the Twins facing Zimmerman. Twins do have one of the higher totals on the slate, 5.7 implied run total. Rosario should be batting cleanup, and for 4,600, that just feels too cheap for a pitcher or for a matchup facing a pitcher like Jordan Zimmerman, who just really struggles to lefties, will give up a lot of home runs. Is just not a good pitcher. The fact that Rosario is so much cheaper than guys like Kepler and Cruz makes him very appealing, whether you're stacking the Twins or if you just want to use him as a one-off. I think Eddie Rosario at his DraftKings price is a very good play today. But one of the teams I want to talk about for Yahoo, because this game is on the Yahoo slate, I'll switch over to their pricing real quick. The White Sox and Indians game is on the Yahoo slate, and this is a really good spot for the Indians facing Ross Detweiler. They're pretty expensive. Like the top 6 hitters, cheapest hitter is Mercado at $10. Then like Lindor's expensive, Santana's expensive, Puig and Reyes both got priced up. Even Jason Kipnis is really expensive. So it's going to be hard to full stack the Indians unless you go with some cheap pitching. But if you're not full stacking, if you're just looking for a one-off, I do like Oscar Mercado quite a bit, especially at his Yahoo price of just $10. Should be batting second here against Ross Detweiler. It's a great matchup. Detweiler is terrible versus righties. Mercado has been much better this year versus left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching, so it's going to favor his platoon split. He's a guy that has a lot of speed as well. If he gets on base, he can steal bases. Does have a little bit of pop, 10 home runs on the year, and we know Detweiler will give up home runs to righties. 6.2 total for the Indians. When you just look at the all-day slate, the Indians do have the highest total on the slate right now. So they're definitely going to be a team I look to get to on Yahoo, where that game is on their main slate. But yeah, these are my 5 plays for Yahoo today, and these are my 5 plays for DraftKings. Now looking at some stacks real quick before we end the video. Since we're looking at Yahoo and we are talking about their slate, since they do have the all-day, all the games, they have the all-day slate, I think the Indians in that 7 o'clock game are a great stack versus Ross Detweiler, 6.2 implied run total. Definitely going to be a team I look to. But now looking at DraftKings, their slate, obviously Yahoo includes these games as well. I really like the Twins here against Jordan Zimmerman. I think they're in a great spot. I would say out of all the games, all 12 games today, the Reds would probably be my favorite stack. They're just going to be a team I play a ton of on this slate versus Drew Smyly. Suarez, Aquino, Iglesias, Peraza's in there, Phillip Ervin's in there, Nick Senzel. Those guys are all great plays today. I just love the Reds here in that hitter's park against Smyly. So the Reds, the Twins, if you want to get to some Rays versus Wojciechowski, I think that makes some sense. If you want to target some Yankees against Mike Minor, Minor's usually not a guy I look to target, but the Yankees just have such a good lineup, so much power versus left-handed pitching that you could definitely look to stack the Yankees. Don't forget about the Braves either. A lot of good stacks on this slate. I don't think you need to go too heavy on one team. A lot of teams are in pretty good spots, but if I were to go heavy on one team, I think it would definitely be the Reds today against Drew Smyly. But that's it for stacks. I think that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and hopefully it did help you. Like I said at the beginning, since this is the week of NFL, the start of week 1, I will be ramping up NFL videos this week, starting off with the showdown slate, or the video for the showdown slate on Thursday Night Football. I'll have a video for that. I'll be making videos for the main slate as we get closer to Sunday. Probably have some videos for like Sunday Night Football showdown slate, Monday Night Football showdown slate. Going to be making as many NFL videos as I possibly can. If I think of something to make, I'm probably going to wind up making it. So going to have a ton of content coming out for you guys. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications on, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like. Like I said, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you do have any questions, you can always follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or leave any comments down below if you have any questions. I will get back to you as soon as I can. But good luck today, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.